They're aspiring guitarists. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about chord changes in practice. I've already discussed in some of the videos that there was I guess I'm going to call it an old school way of thinking. It was certainly the way I was taught. For instance, I was taught to make an E minor, the fifth string, second fret with my first finger, and then drop to the fourth string below in the second fret with my next finger right under it. But I was never shown that there's also a way to make it this way with the second and the third finger. Now, why would I do that? Well, if I wanted to go from an E minor to an E, all I got to do is drop that finger. Now, that's the premise of what I'm talking about. What they used to tell you to do, and there is a reason for this technique. They used to tell you to make a chord, lift it up, make it again, and learn how to throw all the fingers down at once. For instance, here comes a C. They wanted you to be able to make the shape all at once and get it down. Now, I'm not opposed to that, but I think there needs to be a caveat and an explanation of, like I say so often, more to learn. There is another way. There is a reason for another way. Now, we call it anchoring chords or walking chords. For instance, just what we said, the E minor with the second and third allows you to drop down and get that E. An A minor, you can go from an A minor chord and you can go to a C and leave the first finger where it is. So there's no need A minor to C. There's no need to lift up all that and start over. So when you're practicing, here's the other thing that I want you to think about. Remember when we talked about the chord wheel, the circle of fifths? And I recommended this chord wheel book, and I've even got a little short video. And here's something else you can bring to mind when you're practicing that will help. Okay, so you pick a key. Remember, this spins. So let's pick the key of A. All right. Now remember, your major chords are, I'm being very brief here. I'm not trying to provoke the music theory experts, and so I'm being very brief here. I'm not getting into the minors and all the other parts. That's part of getting down into the deep theory of this. But if you've got your chord wheel, that you're going to have an E and a D that is often played with an A. So, keeping that in mind, you've got your E. All right, see, there's your E. So instead of lifting up, I want you to watch what I do. I lift this up, and I keep this rooted. And now I'm going to make an A, one of the chords that is in that circle of fifths, and I'm just going to slide this first finger into the second fret. Now that's a different way to make an A chord than we've seen so many times, because most of us are taught to bunch up those fingers right there to make an A. But I've found over my life that many times anchoring an A this way, you see what I'm doing? I'm splitting these. So if there's a better way to show it, to make an A, here's all right, first fret, second fret, third. We used to stick all the fingers right there in a row to make an A. And then we learn, like what I just showed you, to split it up, kind of like a D7th, where you've got the first finger here, boom, see me twisting it, and then there goes the next one and the next one. But then that allows you to anchor. Like, look how easy I can go to a D. I can keep the first finger stuck and then go make the D. There is a place for anchoring chords. You don't always want to lift up. It's a good technique because you do need to learn to get a chord down. Sometimes you're going to find that you can't progress from one chord to the next and leave something rooted that you don't have to move. For instance, I'm leaving that finger right there to use a chord. So take your circle of fifths, remember to find the key you're playing in. All right, now you're in D. You see it right there. All I did, now I'm going back to A. Find the two chords, the two major chords, and when you do your chord change practice, stop, really slow down and look at each finger and go, can that finger remain there while I make this chord change? Maybe that's a faster, more efficient, and a more enjoyable way to practice guitar, especially at a beginner level, because it's not that hard. It's again a matter. I apologize. It could be hard, but you can break it down, slow it down, and start to understand the magic of the guitar neck and demystify all this that you think you'll never learn. You will learn. So I want you to have a blessed guitar journey. Think about that. Think about rooting chords. Go back, play this again. Look at other YouTube sites. They'll talk about that. And I say again, there's still nothing wrong with lifting up and putting a chord back down. That does teach you the chord. You just need to learn there's different ways to make a chord. E minor or an E minor with 2 and 3 instead of 1 and 2. I hope this helps. Hope you have a blessed guitar journey, and most of all, happy picking.